what I need.
Hey, welcome to Financial Judgment Recovery with Mr. Lane here as your host for today's show. So today we're going to be talking on how to set up your judgment recovery website. Some simple ways that you can do that. Number one, the first step you always want to do is get your domain. So whatever your business name is, you preferably want to try to get a domain relatively related around your business name. Now, let's say, for example, you want to be a little more creative and you already have a business where you do, we'll say, lane marketing as an example. And you come across a domain that is, let's say it was Judgment Recovery. And you wanted to obtain that domain but not switch your business name, do all your business transactions under lane marketing. You can still do that. Now, once you obtain a domain, does not mean you immediately have a website. I do not recommend, personally, using any of the website builders or there's some companies out there, I think they're called like Weebly, that give free websites available. If you get a free website, don't do it. The reason why you do not want to do that, there's a couple. Number one, you are no different than the other person that bought a domain and then went ahead and hosted their website, their domain with that hosting company or with that free website company. The downfall is you just might have a different color than the other person does that has the same format of website that you do. So I highly recommend myself is setting up a WordPress website. Now when you do that, when you purchase your domain, the second thing you will have to do is go get hosting. Now what hosting is that's where your website's going to be live. So if you have judgmentrecovery.com, that's where your website would be hosted at, and that way people could go find it and be able to be found, located, etc. So that would be step two. So step one, get a domain name. Step two, we're going to find a hosting provider to host your domain on so you can get a website. And what I recommend once again is a WordPress installation after you find your hosting company. Now, I do recommend Bluehost as a hosting company. They are very inexpensive and they have been very well at lightning speeds. Their customer support is just by far above par. They're located in the USA, so you get an English speaking person. So you don't have no language barriers whatsoever. Now, after you get the hosting and you pick your plan, for most people starting out, I would recommend with the starter plan, it runs $3.49 a month. So on your domain, we have a resource in our resource page on fjrrecovery.com where you can go and actually get your domain name for $1 for the first year. So $1 for your domain, and then you pick out your hosting at $3.49 a month, and that gives you that lets you have one website or one domain to host on there for $3.49 a month, which in all essence you're looking at building your website up for under $50. I mean, we're looking at about $42 right now. Now, when you do get your hosting plan and host it with Bluehost, you will be able to host that one domain. You have an unlimited website space and also bandwidth. So that means you can build it as big as you want it to be. Now, you also will have 25 subdomains. So say, for instance, you wanted to do a video or even a podcast in reference to a specific topic inside that niche market that you're working with in judgment recovery in this instance, you would be able to create subdomains so you could actually send someone to, let's say, for example, videos.judgmentrecovery.com or podcast.judgmentrecovery.com. So you can kind of see how you can play on the subdomains, and they can almost become like a site in themselves. Now, email accounts, I think this is very crucial. I think it gives you a more professional look. I I have to chuckle when I see someone's email be at gmail.com or at yahoo.com or at, one of the free sites or one of the free email hosting. I just kind of chuckle because it just shows you that they're not that professional. If you actually have an email that is your name at judgmentrecovery.com, people will find you a little more serious and not so much working out of your basement. And it gives your business a little more professional appeal to it. I mean, who at the end of the day wants to do business with John Clark at gmail.com? It just doesn't sound right. I mean, that sounds more like a personal email, not a business email. Now, there's not, and I'm totally not taking anything away from Gmail whatsoever. I think they have an awesome service. But when it comes to your domain, you're getting this for free. So utilize it. I mean, you're not getting them for free. You're paying $3.49 a month. But I mean, come on. They're giving you 100 different email accounts. You could set one up as your marketing. You could set one up for sales, leads, customer service, accounting, whatever it is. You have 100 emails. If you wanted to build out affiliates or, have people work in other locations, you could, and obviously give them an email. So there's a lot of advantages of doing that. The nice thing with Bluehost as well is that they're going to give you $50 in marketing offers, which is it's a nice little perk, especially once you get your site up and running and you kind of feel good. Now we gotta drive some traffic to it. So the best way to drive traffic to it is obviously utilizing coupons. Save money. I mean, at the end of the day, we're starting a business. We're getting it off the ground running. We need to basically try to condense as many expenses as we possibly can. So that would be step 3. So step 1, pick your domain. Step 2, you're going to get the hosting. Step 3, you're going to upload the WordPress installation, set up your email accounts. Step 4, like I said, if you already have a domain and you just want to transfer it over to a better hosting, or you want to get hosting finally and you want to take it off whatever, or just finally do something with it, then go to Bluehost. And they can be able to transfer the domain for you as well. Step 5, we would just obviously take this to the next step, get all of our billing, install the WordPress. Once we go through all that, and we get to the WordPress is not tricky. Please do not think you have to be tech savvy to build a website. You really don't. It's pretty much, in today's age, it's very simple. There's so many videos on YouTube and even on WordPress itself, that can just walk you right through the steps of setting it up. And if you want, I can also send you over a little quick how to set up a 5-page WordPress website in no time. And if you don't want to do it, we can set it up for you. Just let me know. I'd be more happy to do that for you. Obviously, for a small fee. It wouldn't be nearly as much as going to a professional website designer. Once you get the WordPress website up, inside the WordPress site itself, there's quite a few different options that you can select. And what I'm going to do is save that probably for another podcast, because I could probably go on and on that subject. That one will probably be more for a webinar. So if you are interested in learning more how to set up your Judgment Recovery website, feel free to get in contact with me. I will be conducting a webinar, as I do those about every other week, with a niche group in my community here that subscribe to me. So feel free to visit our website, fjrecovery.com. My name is Mr. Lane once again, and I wish you all the best, and hopefully you're enjoying these podcasts, and talk to you soon. Until then, take care. Semper Fi.